Hey guys, what's up? Milo here with yet another OBS tutorial. This time we focus on latency issues while broadcasting or recording through OBS. We'll also understand why latency exists, and then finally we'll drill down into the calculations to fix it. So what is latency? Or rather, why the heck am I getting it in my streams? The short answer is because your computer is extremely busy running OBS tasks, and it's having trouble keeping up. Now, OBS is a great multitasker. It can take your content, help you manage it, and push it out to the world. The more work or tasks that you give it, the harder it works. The more cores or processing power you offer OBS, the less it has to work. But the harder it works, the more prone you are to create a delay in your audio. So fewer cores equal more delay. Delay or out of sync, same thing. So OBS encodes audio and video separately. Factors like video quality, bitrate, resolution, and frames per second are considered, along with how many scenes you've got and the layers you have per scene. All that is happening simultaneously while the audio just encodes. So if it's a race, who's pushing more weight? The video. Who's going to be ahead in this race if there's less weight to push? The audio. So it's safe to say that the video is going to be behind while the audio is left dealing with the video's latency. So how do we fix it? Well, we simply tell the audio to slow down. If the audio is going 100 miles per hour and the video is going 60 miles per hour, then we need to tell OBS to slow the audio down by 40 miles per hour. So that's it in a nutshell. That's how we fix it. But instead of miles per hour, we're working in milliseconds, or ms for short. What we need to do is create a test video in OBS, and then we bring that video into Adobe Premiere, and then we'll calculate the difference. Let's go. All right, guys, here I am in OBS. So I want to point out that, I don't know, there may be a latency here. I'm not exactly sure yet. We're going to find out. But what I am doing right now is let me set you up here. So what I did was set up a scene here, which is just this desktop camera with my video camera, and a second scene, which is me over here and my daughter's off screen. She's here for a reason, so hold up. And so what I'm doing is just kind of emulating a scenario or workflow that is very similar to possibly something you might be doing, right? So if you're going to be testing out your latency, go ahead and make sure that everything that you possibly want OBS to be doing for you, you're doing it. It's all set up because we want that. We want the processor to be working, and it's the only way to be accurate in the latency measurement. So one thing that I did want to point out also is I added a LUT to this particular camera because I want to, again, give it more work. What's a LUT? It's called a lookup table. And whenever you have a video source, you can come and you can right click and hit filter, and you can add a LUT by coming up here, apply LUT, and you browse and you load up this file. So these lookup tables are created because people want to communicate color information between one application to the other, and that's simply it. So, you know, if you create a color grade in Adobe Premiere, you can then tell somebody who's editing the same video in what's the other one? Pro. What's the other video for video editing in Apple? I don't use it anymore. Final Cut Pro. Yeah. So that in this scenario, that's where LUTs will come into play, but OBS allows for that to be brought into here. And so I'm doing this because we're working with 30 frames per second. The LUTs is being applied to each frame, and so that is work, right? So where do you find these LUTs? So what I recommend is going to this website that I found over here called Fix the Photo, and you go to Shop and LUTs for video editing, and you're going to get a page that actually has ones you can buy. But if you search the site, and actually if you just Google Fix the Photo free LUTs, you're going to find a mess. I downloaded 3 and I found one that I liked, and so this is the one I chose. And they basically emulate like Instagram kind of filters, and so you can do black and whites, you name it. There's so many different types of cool color LUTs out there that really change the photo, very, very similar to what Instagram does. So moving on. So what we need to do right now is go ahead and do some clapping. That's how we measure. So that's why I brought my daughter in. So we're going to do 2 different ones. Okay, we're going to do the real just basic one. Ready? Just all right. And so the other one we're going to do is the upbeat one that we tried, right? Okay, let's try. All right. That should be just enough for us to go into Adobe Premiere here, and we can do the calculations. So here we go. Okay, guys, so here we are in Adobe Premiere. I'm going to create a new project and save it to my desktop. And I already created this folder called Fix the Delay, so I'll use that. Open it up. Project already exists. Action can be undone. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. Hit OK. And so I'm going to look for the video that I had just created, which is this guy right here, I believe. And just drag and drop it to the project folder. Right click it. Give it a good right click. And then we're going to do a new sequence from clip. All right. So I'm going to kind of skip through all of this stuff here and just jump into the area where we're clapping. Right? So here we are right about here. And if I zoom in, I get to kind of see exactly where the claps are. So here are the claps. And I'm going to get in there a little further. All right. So right now we're going to look for the actual clap. See there, right there is where I'm actually hitting my hand. But I'm going to wait till me and my daughter get a little more in sync here. So you can see that the audio's trying to play the clap a little up front, ahead. But really we need the clap to sound right there, right? So we are off. It didn't really look like we were off before, but it's off. So the only way to get into the milliseconds into this thing is to go ahead and right click on your little hamburger, your little 3 bars right here, and go show audio units. So now you're going to see that up here, the timeline changed. If you right click, we're working in audio samples right now, but we want to switch over to milliseconds. So right off the bat, we're already seeing that the clap is happening here at 2:53:226. Let's write down that 226. That's the milliseconds. And then we're going to scroll back over here and come up to that number, which it's the same seconds. We're working with the same number, but the millisecond is what's different. And that millisecond is 151. So all we're going to do here is bust out the old calculator and measure the difference. And so what we're subtracting is 226 minus 151. Right there is our calculation, and we've determined exactly what we need to change in OBS. So where do we apply that? Where do we tell OBS it's time to make that change? You come back over here, you right click on your advanced audio properties, and you type that in 115. And guys, we've just corrected our latency. There you go. It's as simple as that. So that's it. You should be good. Keep in mind that if you make changes to your video layers in OBS, you'll have to reconfigure your sync again. So you'll have to output another test video and take the measurements all over again in Adobe Premiere. So there it is. If you want to get quality streaming out of your OBS, don't skip out on the equipment. You need a good sound card, you need some good cameras, and of course you need a really good computer to make sure it handles the processing load. I'm wrapping this up, so don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And not only do I really love audio stuff, I'll be making videos on other things, other hobbies of mine, which include web development, design, and some video production. And I'll also be sure to bring some friends along the way to join me with these videos. So I'm looking at you, Stevie, and I'm looking at you, Fuse. So you guys, you take care, and come back and see me.